Okay, in video number 3 I'm just going to briefly go through what's in reports 4 and 5, so transactions by code and the same thing but with subtotals. So transactions by code, first thing is always refresh, make sure the number is what you expect it to be. 28013.065, we can check that back, 28013.065, just by going back to report number 2. So we know we've got the right figures. And this one shows budget number, and at the bottom of the report, which where we're looking here, we've got the grand total at the bottom, but we've got the budget numbers, which are some of the capital expenditure codes, and the budget code descriptions, and each of the folio numbers. So where we've got individual folio numbers and descriptions, we can see what's been allocated into those account numbers. So it's just a vertical presentation of what we saw on the previous screen. Income shows as minus figures and spend shows as plus figures. We've got the 1,000 separators in so that it has commas, so that you can clearly see what the figures are. There's 1,022,900, so no mistaking how big the numbers are. And so, as you'd expect, for each of the account codes, let's choose something fairly long. So we've got repairs and maintenance here, code 645. We've got the folio numbers increasing down the page. So we've got them with the transactions, electricity, water, staff, accommodation, and the amounts there. So in the second one, again, we check the total is right, refresh, look at the figure, which we probably start to remember by now, 28013.065, but let's just quickly check back, show you how easy it is, 28013.065. So there's our total there. So this one does more or less the same thing, but we have a subtotal for each of the accounts. So we've got, here's the budget code number and the description. I've got the dates in here, and then I've got the folio numbers, or this is actually the month. I've got the folio numbers and then the descriptions and then the amount. And as you can see, for each of the budget codes, you have a nice highlight and then the amount that's spent against each, which is quite useful. Again, if we want to, we can change the way this looks. All of these are at the bottom, so if we want to make them in the middle, we can do that. And if we want to put them to the left or the centre, you know about formatting, I'm sure. In this case, the folio number looks really wide, so I can just slide that in and make it look more presentable. The description again looks quite wide, and like we did before, we can say highlight the column at the column header there, tell it to wrap text. I think this automatically, yes it does, automatically makes the cells high enough. But if you don't think they are, you can go through the routine we talked about earlier. And so you can quite quickly look through and see on the highlighted ones, if you've got any particularly big ones you want to look at. Here's one, 16 million, as you'd expect. Dormitories are being built, so through the months in order we've got the folio numbers, and then we've got the various descriptions that have been entered on the Cashbook. If anything pops up in here that isn't to do with dormitory, we can go back and recode on the Cashbook, rerun the report, and it'll be in the right place. So it's quite a good way of checking, have I put the right codes in? In fact, I'd recommend you do this each month, to run your eye down each of the areas. You'll get to know them quite quickly. So for instance, like I say, if you've got food and drink here, code 400, if there's anything under the description that you've typed that isn't to do with food and drink, and all these are, but if there's anything under there that isn't food and drink, you'll know straight away. So it's a good way of checking. Okay, that's video number 3.